Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a little get ready with me. I know I've been doing these a lot lately, but I need to get ready for the day. I'm going to be filming a lot. I have basically taken over my folks' house because they are out of town this weekend camping, and so is Cameron. We couldn't find anywhere for the dog, so I packed up Kaiser and we headed down to my folks' house, and we are using the electricity and the air conditioning and the indoor plumbing while we can. But I have completely 100% hijacked, I would say a corner, but I kind of had to like move some other stuff in the rest of the room to make this possible. My parents are so cool about letting me use their house, first of all, and second of all, they are my biggest supporters when it comes to YouTube. They watch every single one of my videos. They put it up on their TV set and watch me in like 55 inches. So I basically I used some of their batteries, I nailed this sheet to the wall. Everything else pretty much mine except for this blanket. This blanket is not mine. But look at this cute little Lash mug looking thing. I found this at TJ Maxx and they actually had two of them, so I had to grab them to keep my brushes in. So cute. These are actually like greeting cards. I got these at World Market. I don't know if you can even see because I don't have like my monitor, so I'm like looking at the little viewfinder. I'm not sure if you can even tell what these are or what they look like, but they're like old black and white photos. This one is just three women looking at shoes in like a store window. Obviously me, like I love it. And then this one looks like some type of sporting event, like maybe they're at like a baseball game or like a tennis match or something, but it's like the crowd and there's a couple right here and they're making out. But it's really cute. College Station, Texas. An ROTC cadet and his wife share a kiss at the Kyle Field to celebrate a touchdown by the Texas A&M Aggies during the home team's 19-0 victory over Villanova. Okay, so it's all like sporty, but like also romantic, so. Anyway, all of that aside, I'm gonna put some makeup on my face. I'm starting out with the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. I finally got a hold of the pink grapefruit scent and I love it. It smells so good. All right, but I do think I'm gonna start out with my eyes. I'm gonna put on like eyeshadow, which I'm sort of terrified. I haven't worn like actual eyeshadow in so long. Even the last time I filmed a video that had to do with me putting eyeshadow on my eyes, after I filmed, I went out in public and I took off just my eye makeup to go out in public because I hated it. So please bear with me if it looks horrible. It's because I have not been practicing. Not at all. Also, look what happened to my, I just talked about this in my last favorites video too. My pink buttercream, I dropped it. I'm not gonna like move it, but like there's a lot of powdery on the side, but then there's just like the big baked dome that came off, so I have to fix that. All right, so I am gonna go ahead and prime my eyes. I'm using the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer. I also spoke about this in a recent favorites video. Phenomenal, and you only need like literally the smallest amount. This will be enough for both of my eyes, and it honestly doesn't even really feel like it needs to be set. I mean, it's a little tacky, but nothing crazy. Oh my gosh, I cannot handle these nails anymore. I cannot handle these nails. Honestly, I should talk about these in this month's favorites video. I do love these nails. I know I just sounded like I didn't. I need them to be shorter because I can only handle the length for so long before I want to rip them off. So when I go back to get them done this next week, I'm gonna get them like short. All right, I just need to set down that eye primer. I'm gonna use my Kat Von D Fair Blotting Powder. Let me know if you guys want me to do a video all about this palette. This is like my everyday, I use all these products almost on a daily basis. So let me know if you want me to do like a video all about my everyday palette. That would be cool. Hey, can you not like eyeshadow? I need like brushes to do my makeup. Okay. I'm just setting that very lightly, very thin little layer of powder. Okay, so all I know is that I want to use the Jaclyn Hill palette because I haven't dabbled into eyeshadow in a really long time and I feel like this has everything I need. I can go for like a little bit more of a subtle look, but I also have some of the deeper or brighter tones if I feel like getting into those at all. I'm so nervous. Let me zoom you in so you can actually like see what I'm doing. But then you can't see my pretty background that I literally spent like so much time and effort to do. So I feel like this is always the first step when using the Jaclyn Hill palette, but I'm going to dip into Silk Cream, which is this shade here. It's the perfect sort of mid-tone brown transition shade. And I'm just going to slowly work this into my crease. All right, now that I've got a very, very light wash of a transition shade, I'm gonna grab the shade right beneath that one. It's called Pooter. I'm taking this on a little bit more of a precise sort of crease brush. This one's from Avon. It's so soft because I just washed it. But I'm gonna tuck this one a little bit deeper into my crease. Not as blown out and diffused. So I don't know if you guys watched the most recent, like the brand new season of American Idol, how like it was over but then they brought it back. But I didn't watch every single episode or anything like that. But when I was in town, my mom and I would watch it together. And I don't know if you guys watched it, but I am officially obsessed with Kate Fainer and Gabby Barrett. I wanted Gabby Barrett to win. Like, I wanted her to take it all. I really would have been okay with Kate winning also, but that was mainly because, like, I think he's pretty. He's a very talented singer, don't get me wrong, but, like, I think he did a really good job of making people sort of get excited about rock again, because it's sort of, like, not a dying genre, but, like, it's sort of just, like, when people refer to classic rock, I'm like, what are you talking about? All rock is classic, because it's, like, not a thing anymore. But I think Kate has a very unique voice that I think is just so soothing. And Gabby can sing. Like, she can sing, she can sing. And I truly believe that she should have won. But from the very beginning, I was like, wow, she's irritatingly gorgeous. And I thought the exact same thing about Kate. So now that they're like a couple, they're like too pretty of a couple to look at. Like, I can't handle it. And I do also love they're very outspoken, not like in an annoying way, not to me at least, I'm sure it annoys some people, but they're not quiet about their faith. And you know, like they're on tour together with this American Idol tour and all that good stuff, and they are open about the fact that they don't, you know, sleep in the same hotel room. I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. Now I'm gonna go into this deeper brown. It's called Central Park. I just think that they are a very, very handsome couple, not to mention extremely talented. It's like the first thing I did this morning when I woke up. I just watched YouTube videos of them singing together, doing Instagram lives together. I'm just like, I love them. Just tucking that Central Park shade a little bit deeper into my crease, like the deepest into my crease, and sort of blown out on the outer corner there. Mama needs to tweeze her eyebrows. I'm like nervous. Like I was gonna do something really loud on the lid, and by loud I mean like shimmer, but I think I might just leave it like that. Maybe I'll even do a wing. Oh, I'm so nervous. I know it's so weird because I have so many videos on my channel of just, you know, makeup looks and fun colors and stuff, and now that I have like a civilian life, I feel like now, I tweeted about this, I feel like I have an actual life now. Like since I moved home from overseas, I feel like I've really come out of my shell, and like I have an actual life outside of my husband and my dog, because I'm always, you know, coming downstate to see my folks. Or like yesterday I went to TJ Maxx and Home Goods. I went like shopping by myself just because I wanted to. And that's something that I never would have done overseas. And that was mainly, I would say, because of my anxiety. I was in the depths of my anxiety issues. And overseas, it's just different. I didn't speak the same language, and I would have to go to the train station and take the train into town by myself. And that just scared the bejesus out of me. So I did have a really great friend overseas. I would go and hang out with her all the time, but even when we hung out, it was at one of our apartments, or we would take our dogs for walks, stuff like that. Now I hang out with friends. I will go shopping, I'll go get pizza, I'll go get ice cream. They'll come over to my folks' house and I'll do their makeup, and I go to movies with my family, my parents, my husband, his family, my brother. Like since I've been home, I have come out of my shell so much, I feel, and it just like feels amazing. And by coming out of my shell, I mean that like when people invite me places, I go. Because I didn't really do that when I was overseas. Not that I had that many people inviting me to go places, but I don't know. Now I feel myself again, and I feel much happier being back in the States. Not that being overseas was bad or anything, you know, it was a wonderful experience and we wouldn't give it back for anything. It was amazing. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my husband. We spent our first year of marriage over there, and you learn a lot about your husband in the first year of marriage. So, you know, I wouldn't give it back. I don't regret any part of it. I'm just really happy to be home, and I feel that my husband is so much happier too. Oh my gosh, am I gonna get emotional? All right, now that that's all blended, I'm still debating doing something on the lid, but I think I wanna finish my lower lash line before I decide that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my face first, or at least some of my face. And then I'll finish up the eyes and decide if I want to add something onto my lid. But for the face, I already moisturized, so that should be all nice and sunk into my skin. I'm gonna use my NYX Angel Veil, basically just on like my porous areas right about here. I'm like running out of this, which is super unfortunate because this is pretty expensive for a drugstore. It's like $16. I also, you guys, I've been so bad about taking my makeup off before I go to sleep. That used to never, ever, 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 ever be a thing to me. Like, if I was going to sleep, my makeup was coming off. That was it. But I think that was because I was wearing foundation, so I could feel it, and I could feel like it was rubbing onto my pillow and smearing in my eyes. And now, sometimes I'll forget. Like, Cameron and I the other night, we were both so tired. We worked so hard all day. He works a lot harder than me because he does, like, manual labor. But we were both so insanely tired, and we fell asleep at, like, 8:15, 8:30. And then I woke up at like 8:30 the next morning. So I completely fell asleep on my makeup. I had mascara on. I don't think I was wearing concealer that day. I'm gonna plop some Colourpop No Filter Concealer underneath my eyes. This is in the shade Fair 5, but it's the old Fair 5. I know that they came out with like a bunch of new shades, which is mainly another thing that I've been thinking about, you guys, which I haven't mentioned yet. I think I'm finally going to start freelancing, which is something that I have been saying that I was going to do since I graduated makeup school in, must have been October of 2016. I've been saying, I'm gonna freelance, I just need to, you know, practice more on people's faces because I'm so used to doing it on my own face. I need to practice on other people's faces. Now that I'm home, I'm actually like, I'm practicing on other people's faces. I haven't done my mom's makeup yet, but my two best friends will come over and I'll do their makeup. And I also think I could earn some good money spray tanning because in my makeup school I also learned how to spray tan, and I have my own machine and everything. I even have my own airbrush machine, y'all. Okay, so now that I'm mainly concealed, basically you guys saw I just put a little dot under each eye. I blended it out underneath the eye, and then I would sort of expand it to the other areas of my face once it was mainly blended out under my eyes, you know, down the center of my nose and all of that good stuff, because I do not like a thick layer of cake on my face. I like it to be very light. All right, so before I powder, I am going to add a little bit of liquid highlight, which I never used to do. I got this in a BoxyCharm several months ago. I'm not even subscribed to BoxyCharm anymore, you guys. So if anybody was wondering like, yo, where's all your BoxyCharm videos? Yeah, I unsubscribed, and that was only solely because I needed to cut back on spending, unnecessary spending. And I was like, girl, you have enough makeup, call it good for now. And someday when I'm a little bit more financially inclined, I will resubscribe because I miss it. I do. But this is the Tarte Tarteist Pro Glow Liquid Highlighter, and it's in the color Stunner. I just take a little itty bitty dot, I'll sort of rub it between my fingers a little bit, and then just pat it on the high points of my cheeks. Oh yeah, the concealer. That's what I was getting at when I was talking about freelancing, is that Colourpop came out with so many new shades of this. The range is insane. They even have a pure white one, so I want to stock up on no filter concealers with like the white one, maybe a light shade or two, and then a couple of dark shades, and then I can just sort of like mix depending on my client's skin tone. All right, so before I powder my under eyes, I am actually going to basically powder that liquid highlighter with a powder highlighter. So Ofra Rodeo Drive, thinking it might be time to repurchase. Woo! Alright, call that good for now. Then I'm going to pick up my Kat Von D blotting powder again and just powder where I crease underneath my eyes. I'm not going to like plaster my whole face with powder. I like that, you know, ever so slightly glowy look, and I get very glowy throughout the day because I have oily skin, so it gets oilier and oilier. Now I'm going to basically put highlight all over my face, a little bit more on the cheekbones, down the center of my nose, all over my forehead and my chin, and my everywhere. And I've been liking to do this step first, like before my blush and contour, if I even do contour, because doing my blush and my contour helps blend this out. So it looks kind of insane at first because I like to look super duper glowy. I think I ate some of it. But then when I add the blush and the contour, it sort of helps tone down the highlight and just helps everything really blend in nice and seamlessly. So usually after I do highlight, then I'll go in with contour. So usually people do bronzer, blush, highlight. Sometimes they'll even do bronzer, highlight, blush. I do highlight, contour, blush. That's what I've been doing recently anyway. And I've been using Kevyn Aucoin medium sculpting powder. This stuff is so expensive, but I got this sample from Sephora, probably with like a coupon code or something a long time ago. But that right there is what it looks like. You literally need the smallest itty bitty little amount, which is also the reason why I use a crease brush to apply it. So I just barely tap it in, tap that off, and then just sort of work it into the hollows of my cheekbones. And honestly, at this point, I don't even really care if it looks patchy or unblended, because it usually does, honestly, because of my acne scarring, and I have some sort of bumps and divots and stuff in my skin. And this might look a little bit unblended and patchy. But that's where I do this step now and then go in with the blush, because the blush really just makes it all blend together. It makes it look nice and seamless, natural, dare I say. I honestly just use the crease brush to lay down the contour. Usually put just a little bit underneath my lip, making sure to not get it on the outer corners of my underlip. There was one time I got it like way too far on the outer corner and I looked like I had a beard. It was horrible. So I just do it right under there. I like to do kind of like right above my nostrils, sort of. And then I'll kind of work it up the side of my nose. And at this point, I barely have anything left on my brush, so it gives me just a nice subtle contour. All right, then I grab my favorite blush brush of all stinking time, the Flawless Face Brush by Elle. And then I'm going to grab Tarte Exposed. This is the one that I will absolutely go with if I want a matte blush, and even sometimes if I want a glowy blush, I'll still go in with this one first because of how long they last, and then top it off with a more shimmer blush. Oh my gosh, my dog's puking. My dog's puking, my dog's puking, my dog's puking, my dog's puking. Please don't be on the carpet, please don't be on the carpet, please don't be on the carpet, please don't be on the carpet. You guys, I am worried about my dog. That's the first time he's thrown up since we've moved home, and we moved home in February. And honestly, he used to barf all the time. He used to throw up like a lot. And it was always bile. He has never, ever, ever thrown up anything of substance that I can recall. It's always bile, which usually means that he's hungry, and you know, usually I'll feed him some food and he's good, which he's eating now, so hopefully we'll be good. But I've been feeding him just as much as I usually do, so I don't know what his problem is. All right, now I don't even know if you can really tell, but now that I've applied the blush, you see how I sort of like, when I first pick up the blush, I put it right where blush goes. And then as I have less product on my brush, I sort of blend it up into the highlight and down into the contour, and then it just makes everything look nice and seamless. I'm not sure if you can even see it. Oh, it kind of looks patchy on camera, but I swear that's my zits. All right, I'm gonna give myself a quick spritz of setting spray. This is the Ulta Dewy Finish setting spray. I am going to cover my eyes so I don't mess up my eyeshadow. Probably don't talk, Hannah. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up the eyes. I am first gonna go into that very first shade that I used as my transition and basically sort of mimic what's on the top lid on the bottom lid. Let me zoom you in. I'm just grabbing that on my crease brush. I'm gonna run that along my lower lashes. Why you gotta show up looking so good just to hurt me? And then again, I'm gonna grab Cooter, just one below that, a little bit darker, and then I'm sure I'm gonna go into Central Park over here to really deepen out that outer corner. Okay, so I do think I am going to leave my lid like it is. Baby steps, you know, baby steps, because I don't want to put a shimmer shade on there and then regret it and then want to take it all off while I go out into the world. I also just grabbed a fluffier crease brush, the one that I used for contouring actually, and basically just give everything a nice blend. Just go over everything one more time to make sure it's all nice and seamless. I'm gonna use the brush that I used to highlight my face and just dip the very tip into the shade Beam. Here, the second shade in. Very lightly sort of blend that nicely into my inner corner of the eye. Yes, with this giant freaking brush, because I don't have a smaller one right now. Actually, it looks really nice. Very subtle. I'm gonna go ahead and give my lashes a good curl. And then, of course, I'm gonna pop on some L'Oreal Lash Paradise. It's my favorite mascara of all time. This mascara is so good. I'm gonna let that dry mostly, and I'll probably go in for another layer. For my lower lashes, I'm actually gonna pop on just a little bit of my Tarte Tarteist lash paint. Just a little bit. This is honestly super old and I probably should just throw it away, but I like this one better for my lower lashes. This one's a little bit more volumizing and it could just look like too much spideriness if I use it on my lower lashes as well. So I like to use the lash paint by Tarte, just basically kind of just on the ends to just bring a little bit more attention, a little bit more length to them, but not too much. That looks stupid. I'm so self-conscious because there's eyeshadow on my eyes right now. Like, I'm so self-conscious. I hate that I took such a hiatus from eyeshadow because now I'm like nervous. L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. My hair is a mess. Okay, now I feel like I should do something fun on my lips. This is another thing. If I am wearing a lip product, it's lip balm, lip gloss, or lip sense. That's it. Okay, I have decided I'm gonna go in with the Ultra Satin Lip by Colourpop in the shade Strut. This is how you know you have too much makeup. I have no idea where this came from. I don't know if I've ever used it. I don't recall ordering this, so maybe it was one of those free gifts like, hey, sorry we took so long to send you your stuff. Colourpop will do that sometimes. Did I order this? I don't know where this came from. I'm gonna give it a good shake, considering it probably hasn't been touched in months. Cute! I like this color. It's very like 90s. Why do I feel like I need more blush? Oh, I know why. Because I do. Alright, y'all, so I do believe that is everything for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me, helping me sort of, you know, branch out back out of my comfort zone that I've closed myself into over the last couple of months. But that's everything for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any future videos of mine, and I will see you guys next time. It's like the first thing I did this morning when I woke up. I was, what? And I'm gonna start out with the First Aid Beauty Ultra